Playground!
Hooray!
This is the Darren Harris Podcast. Here's your host, Darren Harris.
Hey folks, what's up? Welcome back to the program. My name is Darren Harris, and this is my podcast. Thank you for joining me this week. I do appreciate it. How you feeling, man? How's everybody this week? Hopefully everybody's mental health is doing well. I'm always concerned because I'm an advocate for being mentally healthy. I really am. So hopefully everybody here is in a good space. I myself this week, I am in a pretty good space. And the reason why is because after the election, there was a lot of sadness amongst a lot of the people that I knew because the party that they wanted to win didn't win. And I understand why they're upset, because there is a lot of things, well, like the saying is, something wicked this way comes, in the way of the new the incoming new government that if you want to call it that's been on a lot of people's mind, and in particularly Project 2025. And if you're unfamiliar with what Project 2025 is, it is, in short, and I'm quoting this, it is the conservative playbook for the next conservative presidency. And it is chocked full of harmful shit, not only to our country, but specifically for black and brown people, and really for black people. So yeah, this 900-page document is out here, and it is man, the Heritage Foundation is out to get us, but they're trying to make it look like patriotism. They're trying to disguise this behind patriotism. And it's not really fooling me. It's not really fooling me. It's a bunch of Christian nationalists that have come here to save the day and save the country. They're here to save the country with Project 2025. And honestly, who are you saving? You're saving the country from yourself. You're trying to save the country from yourself is really what it is. Because a lot of it, they want to erase a lot of the gains that black and brown people have made in this country. They want to send all the brown people back to their country, and they want to incarcerate all the black people. That's essentially what it is. And you can see that in the news right now. You can see that going on in the news right now. All they want to do is push all the Hispanics back over the border. They don't care which border it is. Just get the fuck out. And all the black people, we're coming for you. And if you don't think they're coming for you, look at all the stocks of the private prisons. Look at all the new construction of the private prisons. I live on a road, and about 10 miles from here, 15 miles, not even 15 miles from here, there is a Civil War battlefield. But on that same road, around that same area, there are 4 prisons. And they are majority filled with black bodies. Black men. Majority filled with black men. And that's pretty disheartening. But you know what's even more discouraging is that they're clearing space. It's in a forested area. There's woods everywhere. But what they're doing now is they've cleared these woods. And the reason why they've cleared these woods is because they're making space for more prisons. They're building more prisons. The private prison sector, the private prison industry, I should say, is thriving. And there is a huge business in private prisons and convict leasing. And that's all part of the plan. The thing is, you have to be able to read between the lines of their agenda, their Project 2025. You have to be able to read between the lines, because if you don't read between the lines, it could be you could very easily fall into what they're actually trying to do. You could find yourself supporting some of these measures if you don't read between the lines and read down the track a little bit. You got to read down the track. They're doing stuff to the Department of Justice. They're doing stuff to the Department of Education. They're doing getting rid of healthcare, Medicaid, trying to get all of these programs are greatly used by Black and brown communities. All of these programs, they're going to cut the Board of Education, the funding to the Board of Education. They're going to kick it down to the states to have them handle. And I think he named Linda McMahon, the founder of the WWE, World Wrestling Federation, as the new director of the Board of Education. Okay. No experience at all ever in the history of her life, but okay. All right. But what they're going to do anyway is they're going to kick it down to the state level. They're going to kick the education down to the state level. They're going to kick it down there. And like I keep saying, I say this in almost every podcast, that when it's down there, especially in the conservative states or states that don't have a lot of resources, a lot of these public schools are going to find themselves falling behind. They're going to fall behind. The students in these schools are inevitably going to fall behind without proper funding. And that's what they're doing. They're cutting funding to a lot of programs that benefit Black and brown communities to uplift other programs that benefit billionaires and white communities. Essentially. That's essentially what's happening. That's essentially what people just voted for. So that's something that is disheartening in this country, because a lot of these things in the Project 2025 playbook they're going to try as hard as they can to make these things come true. And it's going to be very easy to get some of these things done now that our entire government is conservative. Think about that. And if conservatives don't like you, then how do you think that you're going to benefit? And if you're not a conservative, how do you think that you're going to benefit? And you have to read between the lines again, read between the lines. Black people, there's a lot of white Democrats, but a lot of black people overwhelmingly vote democratically. Look around, pay attention. But the language that they use to describe Democrats is very, very, very toxic. But they don't say race. But they don't have to. They don't have to. They draw up a playbook to dismantle the things that they find threatening to them, or the things that they find discomfort with. You follow me? You got to read between the lines. It's in there. They don't have to say it anymore. They're not going to say it to your face anymore. They're just going to hurt you at the polls. Like they're going to do things like, they're already fucking with the voting rights. They really are trying to shut us the fuck up. They really are. And what are we going to do about it? Because right now we're not doing anything about it. But that's not 100% true. That is not 100% true, because there is a movement that is forming and has formed, and man, I'm really excited about it. And If you are a black person in America, then you should be excited about this too. And I'm telling you, this is a way for us here. And if we don't take this opportunity, then I'm afraid we may never get it again. And I'm going to tell you about it when I come back from this break. It's going to be good, though, folks. I promise you, it'll be good, man. If we can get on it, and if we can get onto it. I'm Darren Harris, and I'll be right back. Hey, what's up, y'all? Darren Harris here from the Darren Harris Podcast, here to talk to you for a second about Factor Foods. Check it out, man. I'm a really busy dude, and I'm always wishing there was like more time in a day. I'm constantly running around. I barely get time to eat. Thank goodness for Factor Foods, man. Factor's no mess, no prep meals fit perfectly in my daily routine. It doesn't matter if it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, they completely got me. I could pop one of these things in the microwave for 2 minutes. You heard me right, 2 minutes, and that's all it takes. And bam, you get nutritious, dietitian approved, hot and delicious, chef quality meals ready to eat just like that. Factor never gets boring because they have 6 menu preferences to help you reach your personal goals. They have like 35 different meals you can choose from, 60 different add-ons, and a ton of options. They have keto cookies, pressed juices and smoothies, and more. You can manage calories, maximize protein intake, avoid meat, or just eat better food altogether. You can really enjoy guilt-free comfort meals in the comfort of your home, like home-style chicken and gravy, or loaded baked potatoes with pork chops. Vegan options are available as well, like sweet potato and chickpea curry, even globally inspired flavors like Peruvian shrimp and red pepper coulis grits. Factor is easy on the pockets too, man. It's way cheaper than eating out, and it's even cheaper than getting takeout. So you see, there's no reason not to give Factor a try. And just to make it easier for you to get started, you can head over to factormeals.com/50Deron, D-E-R-O-N, to get 50% off your first box and free shipping. That's factormeals.com/50Deron to get 50% off your first box, and that's going to come with free shipping. Again, factormeals.com/50Deron, okay? Stay energized with America's #1 ready-to-eat meal service. Factor Foods. Great meals, unbeatable convenience. Before I went to break, I was talking about what was going on in the country. Oh, yeah, by the way, I'm at my house. I don't have a studio. I live, my podcast is coming to you directly from the dashboard of my Class A RV, which my wife and I live in full time. So you'll hear all kinds of stuff in the background. You might hear dogs. You might hear people yelling and screaming, some chickens or something like that from time to time. So just to let you know, I'm a real dude. I'm a real person. I don't have nothing special. I ain't rich. I ain't got a bunch of shit. I'm just out here trying to navigate life just like everybody else. I'm a real dude on the ground, okay? Letting everybody know what it's going to be like here on the ground here before too long, and the things that are coming for us and my black people and black and brown people in general, but black people in particular. So before I went to break, I was telling you about something that I was very excited about, something that I think could definitely help black people definitely navigate through this next 4 years of this conservative presidency and hopefully beyond that. But it's very perilous. It's going to be perilous because it's imperative, that we all get involved. We all have to bite on this, okay? It's going to require all of us. And I'm going to tell you what, it's $1.7 trillion at stake, okay? Not with a B, with a T. $1.7 trillion are at stake here, okay? And I'm talking specifically to black people right now. There's $1.7 trillion at stake right now in this next phase of what's going on with our country. We are poised to take control of this $1.7 trillion. We already have control of it. But we are poised to grow this $1.7 trillion, but we need everybody to be on board with this in order for it to happen. And what I'm talking about is a movement a movement that was brought by a young woman from the West Coast, and I really hope I'm saying her name right. Her name is Anya Holloway, and if she has a pretty deep social media following. So some people may know her as the media buying bestie. Well, after the election, some of her friends and she actually was upset. Everybody was upset. I was upset. People were upset about it. But she had a thought, and I'm sure other people had this thought as well. But she was the first one to vocalize it to the world, and she proposed a Black Project 2025. And man, well, what would that look like? A Black Project 2025. Well, what is it? It is a movement and an agenda to counteract the Heritage Foundation's playbook for the incoming conservative regime. That's exactly what it is. This movement is meant to encourage American citizens of African descent to shop and use only goods and services made by Black people. You follow me? This movement is also meant to encourage unity among Black communities across the country. Okay? This movement is meant to encourage self-sufficiency amongst our race and stop the reliance on the current power structure in America. That's this movement. It's the Black Project 2025. And her name is Anya Holloway. And what is a great idea, she put up a video on TikTok, and she had it up on Instagram. I saw it on Instagram, and it came across my feed. And she said, hold up, wait a minute, y'all. What if we came up with a Black 2025 and we got people involved, lawyers, doctors, everybody, all of us, and all of our skill sets, everything that we can do, anything that we can contribute. And we put it together, and we used it to build our own communities, to build ourselves. And this is where the $1.7 trillion comes in. Black people pour into the economy annually $1.7 trillion. Black people, Black Americans, okay? Black Americans only. If we were to have our own country, right? If we were to start our own country, we would have the 16th largest economy in the world. Black Americans. Okay? We have power, but our power is fragmented. And our power has been fragmented on purpose because they understand how powerful we are together. We are powerful people, for y'all. Okay? And it's time we start acting like it. It's time we stop doing the things to each other that are harmful to each other. It's time that we start coming together to say, hey, listen, we ain't taking this no more from nobody. It's time for us to do that. And back to the girl who organized this, who is she? She, like I said, she's pretty popular. She was already viral. She's gone viral several times. She has her Instagram is Media Buying Bestie. But when she put together her Project 2025, she posted on social media, and it immediately blew up. I mean, instantaneously. And since that, she's developed an official Project 2025. Black Project 2025. Black Project 2025. I'm going to get that out because there is a distinct difference between Project 2025 and Black Project 2025. Okay? When she put up this Instagram page, the Black Project 2025, it got 58,000 followers almost immediately. I started following it myself. As soon as I found out what it was, I went straight to the page. I looked at it, and she's got a few posts on there. I looked at all the videos, posts, and I joined right there. Bam. You know what I'm saying? Right there. I started following her right there. I started following that page, and she put up some updates about things that she needed and things that she was trying to accomplish. And she came up and said what the mission was. And it's simple, to unify all of our communities, to concentrate our economic power and to grow our communities. That's what it's for. That's this mission. And there was on the Instagram page, there was a link tree. There's a link tree, and I'll get to that later. But I wanted to tell you guys, I wanted to say to you and tell you why I think that we do need something like the Black Project 2025. We need this. And we need it for real because Senator Palpatine, now that he is going to be the president, and the Heritage Foundation, their Project 2025, it aims to dismantle any gains made by black citizens or any citizen of African descent in this country. Any citizen, any gain that we've made in this country, the Heritage Foundation, one of their main points is to begin to dismantle those protections. The reason we need a Black Project 2025 is because the Heritage Foundation's Project 2025 threatens civil rights protections and equal opportunity in the workforce. So they don't have to give us jobs. They don't have to employ us. And they won't get in trouble for it. It won't be a big deal. They don't have to employ us. They don't employ us now. You feel me? And now that this is going to happen, they're going to try as hard as they can to make this go down. This is going to happen, folks. Whether we like it or not, some of these things are actually going to hit the wall. All of them may not, but a lot of this stuff is going to hit the wall and it's going to stick. You know what I'm saying? The reason we need a Black Project 2025 is because the Heritage Foundation's Project 2025 aims to diminish black political power in this country. They're already dismantling the Voting Rights Act. Already, to silence you, to silence me, to fragment our voices so that collectively we are fragmented and we stay that way. It is a plan directly aimed at us. We have to internalize that. 25% of black males and 5% of black women didn't get it. They didn't understand that. And they voted opposite. You know what I'm saying? You have a few people that really believed in this plan and they championed and said, yes, we're going to have a seat right at the table. And those people got overlooked when it came to picking cabinetry. When this guy started picking his cabinets, all these people got overlooked. All these black people got overlooked for positions in the cabinet and are still being overlooked. They don't have to give us the jobs. You know what I'm saying? We need a Black 2025, Black Project 2025. Because the Heritage Foundation's Project 2025 will weaken any anti-discrimination laws, making it easier to discriminate against black and brown people without any retribution, but at the same time passing laws against discrimination against white males. That's why we need it. We need a Black Project 2025 because the Heritage Foundation's Project 2025 will limit black families' access to affordable housing. We need a Black Project 2025 because the Heritage Foundation's Project 2025 will dismantle the Department of Education. They're trying to take our homes and they're trying to dumb us down. Read between the lines, folks. Okay? You got to read between the lines. If you dumb the population down, right? You know what I'm saying? The Department of Education, mainly black and brown children rely on the public school system. Mainly black and brown children. A lot of black and brown children. There are some white kids. I'm not going to front. There are some white, but a lot of black and brown people, black and brown children, they go to public school because they have no choice. You know what I'm saying? But these schools now are going to begin to suffer. You know what I'm saying? They're going to begin to suffer, and these kids aren't going to receive adequate education, if any good education at all. Using dated materials, not getting adequate funding for their schools to maintain the education standard. They want you to fall behind. They want us to fall behind. That's one of the ways that they keep us behind. And if they don't give us the jobs and we don't have the education, right, and they take away all of the civil rights protections, we're out here butt ass naked, black people. And they're putting a weapon in our hands by deliberately making it harder for us to succeed here and thrive here, even after the gains that we've already made here. It's like playing Monopoly, man, and getting that card. Go to jail. Go directly to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. That's what it is. All the while them drawing the advance to boardwalk. See how that works? We down here on motherfucking Baltic Avenue, and they trying to keep us down here on motherfucking Baltic Avenue. You feel me? We need to move around the board a little bit. And the way we move around the board is we stop playing by their fucking rules, because they don't play by them either. We have to become self-sufficient as a people. All right? Nobody has any problem. Now the reason why, okay. Nobody has any problem with black people living together as long as we are held in poverty. They have no problem with it. But the minute we have something, the minute we come up with something, then all of a sudden it becomes a point of interest, because it becomes a threat. And somebody said, yeah, that's great. We could have this Black Project 2025. You know, but what if, they do what they did, back in Tulsa? And to that, I have to say, we're not the same people that we were back then. Black people aren't the same people. And not for nothing, a lot of white people ain't the same way they used to be too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of white people have said that the shit is stupid. We agree with everybody needs to be respected and free. Not everybody is on this fucking, this Agent Orange bullshit. Not everybody's on that. So, in that, there is a little bit of movement. You know what I'm saying? There is a little bit of wiggle room for us to do these things. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we do. That's why something like a Black Project 2025 makes sense. Okay? Because, listen, they want to defund public schools. They want to eliminate PBS. Black and brown students rely on this. They do. It's a fact. Look at the school system. They want to incarcerate us. They want to deport the brown people, and they want to incarcerate the black people. They're trying to make us. They're trying to make us less educated. They're trying to not give us work, so that we can end up in prison. Look at it. You have to read between the lines. It's you got to jump around, and people say, "Oh, you're stretching it out," but am I? You know what I'm saying? Am I reaching out? Well, how about this? We need a Black Project 2025, okay? And the reason why we need a Black Project 2025 is because the Heritage Foundation's Project 2025 will make it harder for black and brown families to receive adequate health care. They're getting ready to gut Medicare and Medicaid. And who do you think relies on that? Black people. That's just about every older black person I know is on Medicaid, Medicare. Just about all of them. And that's going to cause people to die. That's going to cause some people to die. You got to read between the lines, y'all. These people don't want to incorporate us. They don't care if we're here. They do not want us around. And we have to understand that. We have to say to ourselves, hey, man, we know. We always say it. We always say it. Well, let's go someplace where we're celebrated and not tolerated, but then we still go buy Gucci bags and Louis Vuitton shit instead of going to support black-owned business. Now, I'm down. As a matter of fact, I'm already down because if you notice, last week there's been a lot of corporations jumping ship as far as their diversity, equity, and inclusion stances are concerned. You know what I'm saying? You know, and they're getting rid of them. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck no more. We don't have to do that no more. And there were places like Target and that were committed to it. And they were one of the ones that jumped ship and said Dunkin' Donuts, motherfucking Lowe's, all kinds of motherfuckers out there just decided they was going to dump their initiative. They don't give a shit about you, all right? They don't give a fuck about you. They care about maintaining their business and their status quo. That's all it's about. So we have to start to care about ourselves because the reason we need a Black Project 2025, okay, is because the Heritage Foundation's Project 2025 will reshape law enforcement and promote the over-policing of black and brown communities, increasing the incarceration rate, helping them to fund privately owned prisons and their lives. They got us. Checkmate. They got us. They got us. And we got to see how they got us. We got to go back. How did they get us? Well, it's easy. The shit that they tell us. We just believed it. We believed everything they told us. And then we fell for the things that they did to us. We voted against our own interests. We didn't vote when it came to voting. There's a lot of ways that we got here. But there's a way that we can fight this. There's absolutely a way that we can fight this. There's absolutely a way that we can fight this, and that is, in my opinion, a movement, or maybe even several movements like the Black Project 2025, to sink our own teeth into ourselves, to turn the mirror around on ourselves. We got to be able to do that. We got to be able to say, hey, listen, this money that I just made, I need to put this money back into my community. And I'll tell you what, like I said, there's $1.7 trillion, black people, that we pump into the economy. Could you imagine if we pumped that $1.7 trillion into our own communities? Or at least some of it, at least half of it. You know what I'm saying? Could you imagine what would happen to our communities? Could you imagine? Because I tell you what, if we put that $1.7 trillion into our communities would start to look like their communities. Do you understand what I'm saying now? We need to stop giving our money away. You know what I'm saying? We need to stop it. We need to keep our money, and we need to reinvest it into our own, like I said, our own entities, our own businesses, our own hospitals. We need these things. We absolutely need these things. And if you don't think we need these things, you're sadly mistaken. All right? I'm going to take a quick, fast break, and I'm going to come back, and I'm going to break down who exactly has what's going on with this movement. This is the Darren Harris Podcast.
The Podcast Playground. Hooray!
All right, y'all. So who's joined this thing? Who has decided that they was down with the Black Project 2025? I, for one, am one of those people. I'm down. And like I said, I joined the Instagram page. And the Instagram page, like I said, as soon as she put it up, it got like 58,000 followers. And I think it's steadily growing. You know what I'm saying? And this girl, I'm going to tell you what. She has put together, a top-notch effort in trying to get this done. And I cannot front. There are there are doctors who have joined, judges. There are some very influential people that have, business owners, all kinds of entrepreneurs, everybody, everyone from every sector, from every industry across the country has started to join and support this movement. They have a GoFundMe page. I have to find out what that is. I will try and get that in the link in the bio of the podcast. And their GoFundMe is steady climbing because people are actually supporting. But there are people that have already tried to, spin off and make money on the movement. We got to read between the lines, got to catch and she caught one of them on a webinar that she was having. And she caught one of them and bounced him out of the room right away. She said this guy was trying to get these people to come over here for the official project. No. So I'm going to tell you now check it out. If this is something that you think that you would be down with, it's something that you would definitely be on board to support, then I'm going to tell you right now how I got involved, and maybe you can get involved the same way. I went to the official, and that's what it says, Official Black Project 2025. Okay? You can put that in the search box and it'll come up. Official Black Project 2025. You got to put that up. Now I found it on Instagram, and I'm not sure about TikTok, but that's how I found it on Instagram. So you put that in and it comes up. When you click on it, and you'll see it, it's got the Black Project 2025 logo up there. It has her picture. I believe it is. Yeah, it's her picture and a few videos down at the bottom, maybe 6 or 7 videos at the bottom that she posts. Those are updates that she posts. So on that page, with the post, there is a Linktree link. And I clicked on the link and I went to the link, and it took me to another page which had all of the information and the things that her organization or the organization is looking for. And let me tell you what, if you're a back-end developer, if you're a CEO, it doesn't matter what you do. There are contributions that you can make. Web development. There's all kinds of financial consultants. There's all kinds of real world jobs that she is making. She's creating jobs with this thing, which is what we need. You know what I'm saying? She's creating a foundation for a stronger Black America. And I think that we all need to get on that. We've had a lot of people vote against our interests. You know what I'm saying? We had a lot of Black people vote against our own interests, man. We really did. 25% of Black males and 5% of Black women voted against our own interests, man. They really did. And that's hurtful, but that's all right, because we got a lot to stand on still. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot to stand on still. And something tells me that once we start standing, that the people that voted against their own interests will suddenly come back to their senses. And we should be the folks of integrity that we tend to be, and embrace them. And embrace them because they are. Maybe they got brainwashed, and maybe they got, just caught up with the economy, and it's coming for the Black jobs, and maybe they got caught up in all of that. Maybe I'm not really down with gay people or whatever they got caught up with. Maybe they got caught up with that. But at the end of the day, if you could sit up and watch your own people suffer and struggle, then yeah, there's a special place for you. But if you were manipulated and you have figured out, for real, you had a come to Jesus moment and, I might have fucked that up, then I think that, we as black people, we are very forgiving. We're forgiving people. You know what I'm saying? And come on back, but just don't fuck that shit up again. You know what I'm saying? And there won't be no problems. And we are very much that. Okay? We are very much those people. And I'm proud to be one of those people, and I embrace all black people, you know what I'm saying? And I embrace all people, but I definitely embrace all black people. You know what I'm saying? I love my culture. And this right here, I think is long overdue for our culture. There are people that are, they started things like that on their own. There are, black developers that are trying to develop, micro communities and things of that nature. And shout out to those brothers and sisters that's on that. And there's, black women, and this is another thing that they did. Black women, a couple years ago, they created, and I think it's still the same thing. They created more businesses than anybody. Black women getting rich. They out here creating more business than anybody. And that's threatening to them. So what did they do? They stopped the Fearless Fund, which was a fund that was created to help minority women start and build business. And that's another reason that we need a Black Project 2025. Do you follow me? Now, who's joined this? Like I said, there are 58,000 followers. And you join by going to the official Project 2025 page, Instagram page, the official. Okay, make sure that is it. And then there's a link tree, and it takes you to another page, like I said, and there's all these things. But one thing that I found on it was a webinar, and she had a webinar that was like 40 minutes. And in that, she detailed, how she came up with the idea and where she plans to go with it and the things that she needs with it. And I wholeheartedly, now the way you find that is on that page. There's a little link. I will have that link on my in the bio of the podcast. Or I'll do my best to have it in the bio of the podcast. Sometimes I have a hard time getting back to things. But like I said, all the information is corroborated. I don't give you no bullshit. But you can straight up go there and you can join this if this is something that is appealing to you. Any skill set that you may have that you can contribute. She said, from podcasters like me, and I'm already on the bandwagon. Before this even came about, my wife is Latin. Now, my wife and I, a while ago, we decided to stop shopping at particular places. You know what I'm saying? And consciously supporting Black and Latin-owned business. We did that on purpose. We chose that on purpose. We chose to do that on purpose. Anyway, to show our support. And the reason why is because they don't get no burn. Black and brown businesses, especially on the large scale, they don't get very much burn. You know what I mean? Like when we go to the store to buy deodorant, right? The large deodorant conglomerates are all owned by, massive conglomerations which are owned by white people. White males in particular. You know what I'm saying? And even black hair care products that you find in Walmart and all these other stores, all these black hair care products, they're not owned by black people at all. They're owned by white people. And I hate to say it like this, and I don't want to come across as, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm sorry, but white folks can't tell me nothing about black hair. They can't tell me nothing about black skin. They just can't do it. You know what I'm saying? They out here making makeup for us. You know what I'm saying? That stuff that we put on our face. And you know what? They're starting to find out that a lot of this stuff is causing us illnesses. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You got to read between the lines. All this shit out here, do a little bit of research, do some digging, read around, man, for real. So that's what me and my wife chose to do. My wife and I chose to do that. So I got some deodorant coming, okay? Because I was using this deodorant. I went to Target. And this was a few months ago. I went to Target, and they had this section where they highlight black and brown entrepreneurs that have products in the store, personal hygiene products in the store, and they had shaving stuff and deodorant and stuff. So I was buying this one deodorant, and then I found out that Procter & Gamble distributed it. And, okay, that's not what I'm looking for. Okay, I'm looking for something that is truly black-owned, 100% black-owned business. You know what I'm saying? This is going to benefit black people. You know what I'm saying? And help us. I mean, if you want to close that wealth gap, we complain about this wealth gap. Well, like I said, there's $1.7 trillion on the line. So what I did to contribute to that is I bought some fucking deodorant. I damn sure did, from a place called Garner's Garden. And I went through their products, and the deodorant was $8.99. You know, but I didn't find it in any stores. I had to go online to get it, but I caught myself as I'm surfing through Amazon, and I say to myself, Jeff Bezos don't need no more of my fucking money, especially when it comes to this. He just don't need it. So instead, I went directly to the website, and I bought it from dude personally, and it was $8.99 shipping, and I paid that shit anyway. You feel me? I paid that shit anyway. I bought like $20 deodorant, you know what I'm saying, to support black-owned business, and I'm gonna do that shit every day. But what I'll do next time is I'll order a bunch of stuff so the $8.99 don't, the $8.99 shipping don't really hit me that hard. But there are products out here, like, I mean, there are products out here that you can actively buy that are just as good, if not better, and are made with that extra care that we need. And I'm not talking about just toiletries and things like that. There's this stuff called K-Sol, which is a cleaner. And this shit is a cleaner, just like Pine Sol, but these things don't get no burn. We run in there and we flock to the power of Pine Sol, baby. That's what we do. We go right in there, and that's what because they've been preaching it to us since we was born, essentially. But there are people out there that make these products. There are black companies out there that you can actively support that make these products. Damn right. And that is how we pour things back into our community. That benefits us. And the way it benefits us is it closes the wealth gap. It helps us provide goods and services to us. You know what we don't have? The other day, my wife and I, we're still trying to do our floors in our RV. So we was looking, just, hypothetically looking, because we don't really have a bunch of money. So we were just hypothetically looking at some floors. But then we realized, Home Depot got rid of their DEI initiative. So did Lowe's. So did Ace Hardware. But that's one thing we don't have is a large conglomerate or a big box hardware store owned by. So if there's any black entrepreneurs out there, maybe that could be one of the things that we put on the Black Project 2025 agenda, is try to get one of these things opened. One of these things opened and delivered to our cities. You feel me? Maybe we can still do these type things. This is what we need, and that is why we need a Black Project 2025. Because if I want to buy a house, I want to get the loan. I really do. I don't want to be like, turn the fuck down, because I'm black. Like a lot of, institutions have. A lot of upstanding institutions, including the United States military, denied plenty of men the GI Bill, which could help them start lives when they got home. Denied plenty of black men those things. It's unfortunate, but we can fix that. And the Black Project 2025 is the way we fix it. You know what I'm saying? So again, how you get involved is you can go to our Instagram page, and it's the official Black Project 2025. There's about like I said, a few posts and 58,000 followers on the page, and then there's a link tree to the page to the Black Project 2025 that'll take you to a link tree landing page. Now on that page you're going to find some so like I said, some applications for actual employment, and I encourage anyone to apply for the skills. But then there's a little like a little link, like a small link, and it says apply, and you click on that link, and it takes you to a little questionnaire, and what you need to do in order to sign up. And well, it's an email. So I sent my email, and now I'm waiting for my approval. And then, like she said, people will be vetted, because believe it and trust and believe that there are going to be some infiltrators and some haters out here looking to dismantle this movement. They always do. We got to prevent it this time. We have to prevent it this time. It is imperative that we prevent it this time. You know what I'm saying? This right here could be the start of an actual Wakanda. You know what I'm saying? We could actually be getting Wakanda popping right now, y'all. Right now. But there's a catch, though. Sounds great, but there is a catch. And the catch is us, black people. That's right. The catch is black people. Black people, we need to learn how to start seeing things through again. And I say again because we have lost that. We've lost that. Our forefathers and ancestors, they definitely had that. They definitely have that. But we have lost our ability to see things all the way through. Things fizzle out. We also have the tendency to let our visions and our agendas become corrupted. We have to get our asses around that. Okay? Our momentum fizzles out, our enthusiasm dies, and our movements become stagnant because we don't fucking push through. Okay? And at the end of the day, like I said, our ancestors were very big on seeing things through. And that is why we have a lot of the protections and freedoms that we have today. We owe them. We owe them. We owe them to stand together and make this thing happen. And another thing we got to stop doing, black people, nobody else does this shit. Black people, they try. We got to stop marching for shit. Nobody cares, okay? Nobody gives a fuck that we just marched. We never get the justice that we deserve. Very rarely do we get the justice that we deserve. You know what I'm saying? Very rarely. I mean, the Tulsa race massacre was fucking horrific. And a couple of years ago, a judge denied some of the final living survivors any kind of reparations or damages, and basically left those people high and dry after they witnessed one of the probably most definitely the most horrific thing that any human being could suffer through: the massacre of almost an entire community. We owe them. All right? We got to stop marching. We march, and the shit don't mean nothing. We march our ass, we march for our causes, then we march our asses straight to motherfucking Popeyes. That's what the fuck we do. We march to Popeyes, we call it a day, we lay the fuck down, and girl, I see y'all ass tomorrow. And that's what it is. We got to shake out of that. We don't love ourselves enough. That's the problem. We claim that we do. We really do. We claim we love it, but we really don't. We can't stand each other. We still falling for the same bullshit. Every time I turn on social media, there's another post of us beating each other ass, somebody, talking about they done fucked somebody else bitch, just us disrespecting the shit out of each other, putting each other down. It's disgusting, and until we learn how to stop this shit, It doesn't matter what the fuck we do. We will not succeed. We won't succeed. It's just not going to happen. We headed right back for slavery, y'all. Right back for fucking Jim Crow. If if you think slavery isn't on the table, like I said, take a look at all the private prisons being built. This is a plan. This is a weapon. The Project 2025, the Heritage Foundation's Project 2025 is a weapon that has been formed against us. But we are looking to the sky and we are praying to Jesus for answers. But what if he did already give us our blessings in the form of $1.7 trillion, amongst other things? But what are we doing with it? We're giving it to them. They have tricked us once again into giving it to them. That is for us. Every community, and I'm going to leave the brown people out of this one right here because they do. Brown people put back into their communities. They're very community-driven people. Brown people, you know what I'm saying? Latin people, I mean, for real, man. I mean, I'm from New York, and, you know, even in the hood, all the bodegas in the hood, I can't remember the last time I saw one bodega that was owned by a black family. Can't remember. Even in the hood, in the deepest, darkest reaches in the hood, I can't remember seeing one black family. It's either Asians, Latins, or Arabs. You know what I'm saying? We don't have shit, y'all. We don't have shit. We might be street smart, but we are politically ignorant. We need to fix that. We get duped too easily into doing bullshit, into suffering through bullshit. We care so much about the wrong things: hair and nails, rims and tires, speakers and sneakers. This is our opportunity to care about something that's right, something that is actually going to help us, something that is going to pull us together and make us so strong that nothing can hurt us. And remember, this is something that we need to hold close to the chest. You know what I'm saying? We need to hold this close to the chest, y'all, because they smile in your face. They shake your hands. But keep in mind, the only thing they want from you is for you to stay beneath them. Okay? Remember that. The Heritage Foundation. Okay? Remember that name. The Heritage Foundation. Remember that name because they are actively out to get you. You know, there are other conservative think tanks out there, but the Heritage Foundation was the foundation that started this. And now they have, you know, Elon Musk worth $400 billion, willing to dedicate every ounce of money to see this through. Now, we don't have $400 billion, but what we do have is $1.7 trillion. And if we stand together, fuck Elon. Simple as that. Simple as that. We have to stop believing what we are told. We got to stop believing what we are sold. We have to stop caring about integrating into a society that was never meant to include us in the first place. Okay? And I'm dead serious, y'all. And that, to me, is why I think we need a Black Project 2025. Feel me? So, I think that's going to wrap it up for this edition of the Darren Harris Podcast, y'all. Thank you for sticking around. If you're still here, I do appreciate it, man. I really do, man. I really do appreciate my audience. When they told me, my producer told me the other day how many people actually listen to my podcast, and I was blown away, man. I could not believe it. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that is listening to my podcast. And I want to thank my parents, because my parents are awesome. You know, my parents are both thinkers. My dad is a teacher. My mother is just a nurturer from hell, actually from heaven. And I want to thank them for instilling some good morals in me, man. I think I have some pretty decent morals, not to toot my own horn, but God damn it, I think I do. And I want to thank my wife because she is the most complete support system I've ever had in my life. You know what I'm saying? She is my biggest fan, my cheerleader. She's my confidant. She is my fire starter. You know, she is also, you know, my reprimander. She will let me know right off the bat. You know what I'm saying? And I love her and I thank her for that. And I'm thankful every single day that I married this woman. I want to thank my best friend and show producer Jesse Yandel for, hey man, thanks for talking through a lot of this with me, and just to give a lot of people some insight about my relationship with my producer. My producer and I, we've been friends since we've been children, like kids, like literally kids, and like 17 and 18, and you know we've been through a lot of things together. And my producer is blonde hair and blue eyed, and he has had a lot of privileges afforded to him. But at the same time, this man right here has fought people for me, has put his own life on the line for me. Not that he's some sort of white savior, because he doesn't consider himself to be that. He just considers himself to be a champion for what is right and what is just. And I respect the shit out of that. And I want to thank Gentry Thomas for giving me the platform. I have a great platform. The podcast playground is fucking awesome. I mean, the fact that I get on here and talk the shit that I talk is absolutely amazing, and I have Gentry Thomas to thank for that. And I'll tell you what, there's some other great podcasts on the playground, and I encourage you to listen to them all. There's quite a bit of them, and they are actually very, very good. There's some very great podcasts on the playground. And last but not least, I really, really and truly want to thank you guys again, my audience, the people that actually have listened to my podcast and are still listening, and the people that listen to my podcast and don't listen anymore, and the people that haven't listened yet. I want to thank y'all too. I want to thank everybody who has listened to the Darren Harris podcast, because without you guys, I wouldn't have a podcast. And I think I'm at episode 140. I got 10 episodes of a pod. 10 episodes. I'm 10 episodes away from 150 podcasts, and I never thought that I could do a single one. So I want to thank everybody. I want to thank everybody out there that made my podcast happen. But I'm extremely humble, and I'm extremely grateful. So until next week, I'm gonna go out and try and enjoy some cold sunshine, because it's freezing here. So try to go out and enjoy the day, and you guys should too. And think about what I said, man. This Black Project 2025 could be everything for us, y'all. Everything for Black people. And I don't say this. And let me clarify something. Let me just really fast. I don't hate white people, okay? And I say this a lot. I do not hate white people. I hate the power structure that has been built, okay? I hate the ideology that has been taught, okay? That is what I hate. And those things can be changed. Feel me? So, until next week, y'all, have a good one. Peace.
You've been listening to the Darren Harris Podcast. Subscribe to the show, give a good rating, and everything you need to know is at DarrenHarris.com.